1:35 here on WGN this Monday afternoon. Glad you're with us. It's Anna Davlantes. And about a year ago, think about that, about a year ago, the city's Christopher Columbus statues all came down. There had been some protests, some that erupted in violence. It's the site of at least one of them I can recall, perhaps more. And the city decided, hey, we're going to take them all down until we decide what to do. This is causing too many issues, and there's dangerous situations erupting at these statues. So it's creating unsafe situations for protesters and police. And so we're taking them down. We're going to get a commission together and decide what to do next. Fast forward to today. I don't know what we decided to do next, but Ron Onesti certainly wants his voice to be heard in all of this. He is the president of the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. And Ron, thank you for joining the program this afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Anna. It's so nice to talk to you again. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for being on. So tell us, what is going on? What is the status of the Christopher Columbus statues? I know you got something you want to talk about you're going to be doing proactively, but what's the status, first of all?
Well, we've been working very hard, really tirelessly on a daily basis, Anna. It's a very, what started out as something for us as affecting our Italian-American community, as we've been going out into other communities and fielding emails and physical letters and calls from members of other ethnic groups saying, you know what, if this happens to Columbus today, it can happen to us tomorrow. So this is broadened to include many other ethnic groups, and that's our approach with it. So on a daily basis, pretty much, Anna, for, as you pointed out, it'll be a year, July 24th. We've been working on meeting with aldermen, trying to meet with the commission, with the Monuments and Memorials Commission, and just trying to get a plan together of how we're going to get these statues back. They're very important to us.
One of them, I'm told, dates back, over 100 years, maybe even more than that. Dedicated 1892 is what I'm reading here, one of the Chicago's first statue of Columbus. Which one is that? That's on the city's website. Yeah,
that's the Arrigo Park one, and that was first built. It was actually sculpted by a Jewish individual, but it was first sculpted for the 1892 World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition, and it stayed around for quite some time in storage until Victor Arrigo came around, the state representative, in 1966 to honor the contributions and the area of the Italian American immigration. Mm-hmm. Around the Taylor Street area, their Little Italy area, and it's been up representing our community ever since.
So you're trying to get together. You've been organizing with other immigrant groups, with other ethnic groups across the city to try to have more of a unified effort to say, hey, we want these back. Is that right, Ron?
Yes, absolutely. It's July 25th. It's actually on a Sunday, and it'll be 1 year, a year and a day, actually, when the statues came down. We'll be honoring and paying special tribute to those 51 Chicago police officers who defended the Columbus statue in Grant Park. One police officer lost an eye, I believe. It was a very, very terrible situation, and we want to honor those people, but we also want to let people know that we're not going away. This is more than just a bunch of concrete, and bigger than Columbus. This is something that's important to our Italian-American community, but also touches a little bit, or a lot, frankly, on the process by which these types of things are dealt with. And that's why it's so important, Anna. It's more than just this one issue. It's expanded to include all people, all neighborhoods, all ethnic groups. How do we handle these situations? And what we're looking for is a plan. If they said, here's the statues back today, here you go. Well, that's not exactly what we're talking about, because what happens with vandalism? What happens with security? What happens if somebody or something gets hurt? What's the transportation plan? There's a lot to be discussed here, and we want to be invited to the table and have concrete time frame, because we're actually ready to go to file lawsuits.
Mm-hmm. So you've heard many times the concerns, the complaints on the other side that say, he didn't discover America. The indigenous people were here first. It's one of the reasons why CPS decided to rename Columbus Day. And then you've heard others that just say that he is responsible for exploitation of Native peoples. What do you say to those concerns, the people who feel that way and say the statue should not return, Ron?
Well, number one, we as the Italian American community of Chicagoland, our representatives. We don't agree with that. I mean, we have authors and scholars that can debunk that. I mean, these facts have been based on, we have the facts, there's lies out there, and we want to straighten, we have the truth that we believe. But here's the thing, Anna, we totally believe that the narratives need to be broadened. People's stories need to be told. We're all for that. Mm-hmm. But this is something that's important to us. And if they're the indigenous people, their story, yes, their story, the indigenous people's story definitely needs to be told. So we want to sit down with them. We're actually trying. I've been trying to reach out to that community and with an olive branch saying, look, there's got to be a way that we all here as educated, intellectual adults can sit down at the table, can address all the issues, and come up with a narrative and a representation that affects or that satisfies everybody here. It all boils down, Anna, to the erasure of history rather than explaining it.
I think that's a legitimate concern for sure. You look at the situation, you say, okay, can you accurately represent what this person represents? He was hope. It was for a new world, and he was a flawed individual, or you explain exactly what the history is, and you get together with a group of people of varying backgrounds to come up with that. That seems like a good solution. It does.
Well, I'm sorry, but frankly, where I'm at and where we are at right now, it's got to be about stop the fighting, start the healing. The healing process starts with communication, starts with sincerity, starts with mutual respect. And that's what we're looking for here, Anna. I mean, we understand that somebody may be offended or that might reflect some pain or whatever it is. We have our own pain. The bottom line here is that there isn't one ethnic group who has not experienced pain in their development or their involvement in the development of this country. So let's tell that story that talks about the pain and talks about ways we can come together and tell the entire story. We want that to happen. But, no one can say that our pain is greater than your pain and our position is more right than your position and our facts are truer than your facts. And that's what's happening. So we're about the whole Heal Chicago coalition that we're starting here so that we can all come together and come up with a narrative and come up with an approach so that everybody's story is told and we can live together again and get our frickin' city back.
Good way. I like that. Get our frickin' city back. I like that, Ron. It's true. And I know it was a very passionate meeting you guys had the other night. That's how this came to on my radar. I'm like, geez, it has been a year now. It's been a year since those came down. What's going on? And you're putting this together because you're saying, let's come up with this solution. I mean, I like the tone of what you're doing. It sounds extremely reasonable. Our city leaders coming on board? You getting the sense that they're on board with what you're doing?
Well, I can tell you, for example, yes. The short answer is yes. I mean, we've been talking to Cook County commissioners, Chicago aldermen, state representatives, and everybody's understanding the position here. I think, when the mayor took it down in the interest of safety, okay, who would argue with that? Sure, let's do that. But remember, that was a temporary situation. It's been a year now. What is the plan? And I can tell you that in a year, it's really evolved into less of canceling history, more explaining history, more sharing each other's history, more with coming up with some ideas. And I can tell you that even the tone of the Monuments and Memorials Commission that the mayor put together of the 30 individuals, community representatives, even the tone of those meetings changed. At the beginning, it was basically pounding fists on tables, statues, Columbus, got to go. Matter of fact, it came up statues of all people, because people are flawed, so why are we putting statues up at all? It was very, very, extreme. So that was the tone at the beginning, and I can tell you towards the end of this, because right now, and that's what we're trying to find out, Anna, is the Monuments and Memorials Commission is supposed to come up with their suggestion to the mayor in June. And here we are, June 28th, and we haven't heard anything for the last 28 days, basically.
Yeah, that's curious.
We're just, again, we're all people here. We all want to let's all sit down. And that's one of the things Alderman Brendan Riley, a Chicago alderman, has proposed legislation also to take away the onus from this Monuments and Memorials Commission established by the mayor and put the onus on the city council members to make the final decision. Because they're saying, that's a lot of power. Because at the end of the day, I believe I think it's the superintendent, Mark Kelly of DCASE, Department of Cultural Affairs Special Events, is going to make the ultimate suggestion, the end suggestion, based on suggestions that the commission makes. He would get those suggestions, and he will make a final decision on the suggestion to give to the mayor, and that's how she's going to determine what statues go up, what statues go down. And Alderman Brandon Riley and several other, matter of fact, every single member of the city council that I've spoken to, which is in excess of 26 of those of the city council members, all feel that, that's a lot of power to give to one person here, and that the final decision of what happens with our artwork in the city of Chicago is a decision made by the members of the city council.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish you the best of luck in this effort, and I know it's a unified effort. If people want to get involved, no matter what their background, you don't have to be an Italian American to do this. How do you jump on board, Ron? How would they be part of this whole thing?
Sure. They would just go to our website, which is jccia.com. And as you pointed out so eloquently, Anna, this is far from solely an Italian American initiative. I mean, obviously, it's something very near and dear to us, and we're trying to spearhead this situation. But I got to tell you, there hasn't been one ethnic group that has contacted us and haven't spoken to. Really, I'm telling you, tens of ethnic groups that are all concerned about this because it affects not just statues. I mean, it's a whole way of thinking. It's a presence of mind. If we have disagreements, how do we handle these things? Do we continue to pull down statues with rope and nooses around around the neck of these statues and pull them down, or do we discuss it? That's where we're at right now.
Well, I admire the civility of the whole thing, and I admire the effort, and kudos to you for getting a lot of folks on board to move forward here in this regard. Ron, I hope you'll keep us posted with what happens here. I hope we'll hear something soon, too. As you point out, it is the end of June, and by now we sort of thought that the city would tell us something on this, but maybe you'll be forcing their hand.
Well, you know what, Anna, and to clarify here, it really is. I mean, is it a city issue? Yes. But frankly, for us right now, it's a Chicago Park District issue. That's what we're dealing with because at the end of the day, the Chicago Park District are the ones who have the statues, who possess the statues. As you know, Chicago Park District is almost a city unto a city itself because it's got its own ways of doing things, and it's separate. You have separate tax dollars go to Chicago Park District. So our legal front and our discussions right now are strictly with the Chicago Park District.
Oh, Ron, you got to get the phone call one more time, though. No. The address, the website you gave us. What is that again?
Sure, it is. If you want to come, we'd love for everybody to come. It's 3:00 at Arrigo Park. It's on July 25th. And for more information about anything that we're working on, it's jccia.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Ron. Get the phone call. And we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye for now. Ron Onesti there is the president of the Joint Civic Committee.